Hey, I'm Todd. Thanks for choosing to watch my video, and if you would subscribe it, like it, all that stuff, that'd be great. Otherwise, enjoy the video, and I hope it gives you the information you need and is helpful to you. Take care. 2010 Toyota RAV4 rear brake pad replacement, rear brake pads, rear brake rotor. Nice place to jack up the vehicle on this pinch weld here, pretty solid. Or you can jack it up on the pumpkin if you want to do jack it up so it's on off the ground on both sides. Jack it up. Before you jack it up, break the lug nuts loose, 21 millimeters. All bolts and nuts are left to loosen, right to tighten. So break them loose a turn or two, then jack up the vehicle, use safety stands, protect yourself, and then we'll get the wheel off. .21 millimeter lug nuts. We have the brake caliper mounting bracket, and the brake rotor, outer brake pad and inner brake pad. Of course, we want to make sure the brake master cylinder is not over full, so it's spilling out. This was pretty low, so I'm confident it's not coming out. Now we can check our slides. We know the piston collapses and the slides are working, so we're good to continue on. If you can't move it, then you may consider replacing the calipers. You can take the slides apart and try and lube them up if you want, but it's certainly an indication of problems if you can't slide it. We got two 14 millimeter bolts on the calipers. We'll probably just take this one out. And then two 17 millimeter bolts for the bracket in the back. There's an inner part here. If everything's turning, when you turn this loose, it's probably a 14 millimeter as well to hold it while you turn the bolt out. Caliper. Quite a bit of rust buildup around here. We'll take this plug out. It's probably an emergency brake shoe, which is one here and one here inside. Emergency brake shoe inspection hole. And transfer that over to the new rotor. Always get your rotors machined or replaced. It's pretty rusty there, so we got a 8 by 1.25 is the bolt size. Probably a 30 or 40 millimeters long. Put them in there and screw it, it'll force the rotor off. Or if you're going to replace the rotors, you can certainly tap it, turn it and tap it with a hammer until it loosens up. Emergency brake shoes, and they look good. Took my little plug out. So we got our old shoes, caliper, new pads, clips. Two types of clips for some reason, but I matched them up, and these ones match well. So you can clean these up or replace them, but we got new ones, so we're going to replace them. Just a little friction fit tab here, fits down in the channel. Could clean this up a little bit. It's down in the channel. There we go. These did slide, but we'll put a little more lube on it. A little rubber bushing on this upper pin. Got the little clips on here. New clip. New clip. Usually they come off the old ones, so if you don't get new ones, you could replace them if they're still in good shape. So there we go. We'll go, got a new rotor here, using some asbestos coated rotors for rust protection. Rain, salt, snow, your best defense against the elements. Ooh, ah. Here we are. You don't have to wash these because they're coated. If you get regular ones, they'll have an oil coating. You need to use some warm soap and water and wash off your regular rotor and dry it off with a rag or paper towel, and you'll be good to go. So tighten those down. Did put a little lubricant on the ends where it rides in here. Same with this one. Just make sure your hose isn't twisted when you're putting calipers back on. They can twist and possibly, maybe, restrict flow. Give you torque specs, put the tire back on, tighten it as tight as you can when it's off the ground, tighten it down in a crisscross pattern, then put the vehicle down and torque them down. Give the torque specs in a second here. 65 foot-pounds for this mounting bracket, 25 foot-pounds for this caliper, and then 76 foot-pounds for the lug nuts. Then we'll go to the master cylinder and talk about that. Alright, Toyota RAV4, we got our master cylinder here. We want to just make sure it doesn't overflow, just a friction fit cap on here. Nothing too fancy. Ugh. So it has a maximum and sure a minimum or an add line. So we're not at the maximum line yet. You can add some. Just make sure it doesn't overflow. Use a clean rag or a turkey baster or something, suck some out. If it's full and you're collapsing pistons. And then when you're done, go ahead and pump the brake pedal a few times to set the pads and everything, and then the fluid level will be where it's going to be. And we can add .3 brake fluid as needed. It looks like we can take this little cover off here Let that, a little easier access for you for pouring fluid. Just kind of snap back into place. See how it works there. So we'll add some fluid as needed, and then you're good to go. Remember to pump the brake pads a few times. Remember to pump the brake pedal a few times before driving it.